Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Your Music is Bad and You Should Feel Bad. He's Matt, I'm Blake, here we go.
All right, so we're going to talk about new Angra as well as Angry Metal Guy's list. I only listened to the new one. I didn't get a chance to listen to any of the others, which is going to be a problem, especially for the one that he thinks is like, I forget if it's the best or the second best.
Pulled up his list. I had it. Scroll. So his were we talking about his number 2 or his number 1, which was very questionable? His number 2 is one. Holy Land.
No, that should probably be the number 1 is my thought. But
Holy Land?
Yeah.
Really?
Holy Land is the classic.
I mean, well, okay. Number 1, I don't know. But his number 1 was Aurora Consurgens, which I feel like he threw that in there just to make people argue, which we're going to do, so it worked.
I doubt it. I would think he genuinely thinks it is the best.
Well, this was another one. He threw right in here. I honestly don't get why people knock on this album. Right there, the very, very first sentence in the paragraph about it. So clearly he is aware that other people don't think this is that great of an album.
Sure.
Clearly.
But he probably also genuinely thinks it's really good.
Sure, that's fine. But he knows he's wrong. Maybe. He should know he's wrong.
It's possible.
The point being, the new album is not on that list. The new album is very good. I did read their review of it also. I think it got a 3.5 out of 5, which is quote unquote very good. But maybe, I don't know, maybe top 5 if I had to throw a hard and fast ranking at it right away. But I think we need to talk about what our individual like top 3s are. Why don't you throw yours out there? I know we talked about mine a little bit earlier. We'll get there, but I don't know what yours are.
I mean, okay, like, to be fair, up front, it's heavily skewed towards Matos because I enjoyed the first couple Edu albums, but as much as everyone loves Temple of Shadows, it also, to me, kind of sounded like, and this is what other people said the same thing, is it started to sound more like Dream Theater. And I feel like there's almost this pre-sounding like Dream Theater and then post-sounding like Dream Theater, and it's like not like a huge thing. It's just like there's like, I even heard it on the new album too. There's sections where you're like, this is a Dream Theater section, and I feel like maybe I'm even nitpicking, but I feel like the Matos era, even though there was progressive stuff, it wasn't quite that like Temple of Shadows sounded like they had been listening to Dream Theater, and
which I would argue is a plus. I support that.
Arguably, especially in 2004, there's not enough like awful Dream Theater yet at that point.
Valid.
But it definitely is a shift, and we'll talk more about that with the new album because I have some notes on that. But I mean, I'd probably put Temple of Shadows higher if I actually listened to it more, and I actually meant to for this. I didn't have time.
Fair.
I'm sure we'll have other Angra episodes in the future, at which point maybe we'll do like a more of a full retrospective. I just didn't have time to listen to, but like I know Holy Land, Angels Cry, and Fireworks from listening to them a ton around like 2000. So
that sounds about
those
right.
Are my
I did get a chance to listen to all
of
those again though, and they are still very solid.
Yeah, and for me, it's probably number 1 is Holy Land, number 2 is Fireworks, number 3 is Angels Cry. That's where I would personally put them.
Okay.
But given there's like Rebirth, like I never like there's a handful of really good songs on it, but then some of the ones that people really like, the longer stuff, I didn't actually get into that much. And Temple of Shadows is great, but I didn't do it. And so one of these, I'll give it another listen, especially considering that my position is they have maintained a pretty good level of quality with the recent stuff. So
Fair enough.
What are your top 3s?
I waffle back and forth on what's 1 and 2, and it's between Fireworks and Temple of Shadows for me.
Interesting.
So yeah, I realize it's Andre versus Edu. It's the Andre album that's a little bit different than the other albums, and it's the Edu album that's more progressive, and of course has all the guest spots with Kai and Hanzi and everybody. So it may be muddied for some people. That I don't know if that's I don't see it as a detractor. I think it's fun. But if I really had to count them out, Fireworks is for sure my favorite. So I'm going to call it number one.
That's fair.
Fireworks, Temple of Shadows. Number three, I don't know. And this is, I waffle on this too. I used to think it was Rebirth, and then I listened to Rebirth again this past couple of days. The production, it doesn't stand up to what I thought it did originally, and that kills it for me. So now I think it's probably Holy Land, almost on the strength of Carolina the Fourth, just by itself, which is probably one of their very best songs.
Yeah, I agree. That's so. Let's see. Let me grab the thing.
Got the list up.
Yeah.
He wrote a lot of words. It makes it hard to scroll through it quickly. He should not have done that. I think the thing we really have to address before we get too far into anything else is this Dolphin Whisperer person put Fireworks as the very bottom of the barrel, and that's, to me, shows a lack of understanding Angra and music. That's like saying, oh, I just don't like Awake, or what's another album that a band released like at the pinnacle of whatever before that. That's like saying I don't like Toto's 4.
Yeah. So I think I do remember at the time.
It's like saying I don't like Master of Puppets.
But I do know, I would say that like there was a little bit of like the reviewer kind of talks about how certain elements didn't really they seem to leave with Andre, and you can kind of hear them more in Shaman, and I think that's true. But I think some of those elements
Shaman was very good.
Yeah, right. And I think so. Maybe they don't care for that direction. They prefer more of the Dream Theatery and also more of the like straight up power metal. Although it's power prog was not actually historically a genre. It has just been willed into existence by bands continuing to make that same kind of music for 20 years. I
mean, I support it.
Now
I'm here for power
is,
metal, and I'm here for making things more interesting. So I'll take some power prog, even if it's kind of a bastard genre.
My argument was that, right, you don't necessarily have to make the prog parts in order to make power metal interesting, but
sure. But it helps. It can help.
But listening to the new one, that is firmly what they're going for, because like I said,
very much so.
There's like the very distinct Dream Theater parts.
And I like that in this case.
So I wonder, I kind of almost want to do a follow-up at some point where we like specifically re-listen and review Fireworks and the Aurora Consurgence, because I feel like I want to know exactly what they liked about this one so much, thus that they didn't like.
I gave it a quick listen. I don't remember anything that stood out to me distinctly. Other than, it's an Edu album, and all of the Edu albums they're well put together, and the songwriting is similar, and there are standout songs here and there, like anything. But I don't know, they're very samey throughout the Edu era, and I guess that didn't work as well for me. I did notice, looking in the ranking here, that the guy said he came into being an Angra fan when it was like the beginning of the Edu era. So he was clearly more
I see. Yeah,
right off the bat.
exactly.
Oh, Edu is the guy in this band that I like now. Oh,
Yep.
there was an old guy. Well, fuck him.
He sang too high too much.
Oh my god, those uneven power metal. What? No, it's power metal. That's what you signed up for.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
He made me angry. He made me angry by not liking fireworks. That bastard.
Yeah.
He's a Dolphin Whisperer. He should be here for the high screechy vocals. Like, what is this guy's deal?
That's true.
Doesn't even make sense.
Let's talk about Cycles of Pain, the new album. I have a lot of notes. I thought it was very good.
I would agree.
Is basically the best of that style of music they are doing. I would argue in also in contrast to like Dream Theater. Like I'd much rather listen to the new Angra than the new Dream Theater.
That's fair. That's very fair.
And I already commented on this, the Dream Theater influence that kind of popped up around Temple of Shadows. And it was like people started saying that. And then when I listened to the album, I could immediately hear it, and I hear it still. So it's like that influence stuck around, became part of their core sound. And it's hard. It's weird because like they did have progressive-y stuff before that, but there was a very different, like the way that the kind of sudden shifts, and you're like, this is such a contrasting part that like you call it like a prog break, right? It's got diddly doos, is what I'm saying, right? It's got the diddly doos.
They're absolutely diddly doos, stuttery diddly doos, and such.
Yeah, silly diddly doos that seem like they came out of nowhere just because you can go, oh, it's different now, and that's what the prog fans love if you can do it, but it's like a delicate balancing act. Obviously, like if you go too far, people are like, I just
and the nice thing about a band like Angra is for this kind of band, very in the pocket. They have a lot of groove to their style of music. You could say the stereotypical, oh, they're Brazilian, they got the samba beat, they're, blah, 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 blah. No, who gives a shit about that? The point is they do have a really good groove.
Yeah, and they do also have, like, you still hear here and there the sort of Brazilian traditional influence, which I also thought was one of the cool things.
Vida Seca, too. The song that starts off with the guy singing in Portuguese in an entirely different, more like, I don't know, whatever kind of pop 90s sort of adult contemporary, which I enjoyed that. And then it gets into a really heavy part of the song, and the whole thing is very good. So yeah, that's right there on the forefront.
Comment on that same song.
It's a good song. What do you got?
It has, like you say, it has that actual Brazilian influence. Although the funny part is that, it has like a bit of an adult contemporary vibe, and it reminded me of like 80s Toto vibes. But that's ironic because it's like the actual Brazilian influence reminding me of what may have sounded accidentally vaguely Brazilian just because they found some, marimba patch or something. And so it's like, it's like unironic 80s white guy music that I'm reminded of because of the genuine Brazilian influence in Angra's music.
I also had a Toto moment, and it's entirely possible that people are going to start thinking that we are just obsessed with Toto, and they're right. So that's fair.
It would not be wrong.
But I was listening to Holy Land, and there was something that reminded me of a Toto passage from one of the later albums, and I was going to look it up. Didn't yet. I will have to hunt that up. It was specifically the Holy Land track. I don't even remember what part. I will hunt it up, and we'll talk about Toto and Angra further.
That's a cool. I mean, somebody was just heavily influenced by Toto and Angra. They could probably form a pretty sweet yacht metal band.
I support this. Possibly a samba yacht metal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A little extra boogie.
Let's see. So I have a few track notes. Ride Into the Storm. Lots of
That's the big single, right?
It's
like the second track.
Probably, maybe.
Okay,
seems
fair
like
enough.
It could be. I don't know. I don't actually know. But it has a lot of the diddly doos and the dream theaterisms.
The whole album does.
Yes. And then I noticed that the song after it, Dead Man on Display, is kind of contrasting to that. It's a little more straightforward, a little more sing-songy. Uh, it still has diddly doos, but not as much, and a little more of a sort of clean, hooky, melodic structure. I think they do a good job of balancing that. You know,
That's fair.
unlike Dream
There's
Theater.
point and counterpoint.
Right,
It,
right.
it balances out. Right Into
Also,
the Storm is the video single.
okay. Oh
Verified.
yeah, I haven't watched that. And then my
It's
my
not
my
an exciting
only
video, but
my only
it's a video.
my only complaint of Dead Man on Display is that Fabio kind of goes into the rhapsody zone with his vibrato, where vibrato is so wide
I
that
might
it's
argue
like
that that's present throughout as well.
it's like three pitches. But I don't think
Yeah,
it's as I never feel like I noticed it as much on Angra versus Rhapsody. Whereas I feel like on Rhapsody, because it's intentionally going for more operatic, neoclassical, it's more egregious and, at least to me, annoying.
that's fair.
So I
Speaking
made
of operatic, there was
yeah.
the one song with the operatic, I think male and female vocals, and I don't
Mhm.
know who did those. I assume that the male operatic was not Fabio because it was I don't know if it was like a bass as opposed to he's a much higher voice. I don't think he has that kind of range, but that would be hellaciously impressive if he actually did that. That'd shock the hell out of me.
Yes,
I'll have to find out who those people are.
the guests were Amanda Somerville
Oh, that
and
makes sense. Yep.
and Juliana D'Agostino. But that's two
Yeah, there were different
female
lady
guests.
parts.
And so I don't know.
Tell me that he sang the adult contemporary part too. That would be something.
That was the adult contemporary on Vida Seca.
Vita Sica, yeah.
Let's find out. I'm sure there's. Oh, okay. Faithless Sanctuary and Vida Seca channel a celebratory nature, the latter featuring a seductively joyous Bittencourt harmonizing with Brazilian star Lenine in Portuguese language resplendent. So is that Bittencourt, maybe? Raphael Bittencourt?
Well, that would be impressive.
Yeah, and actually that makes sense because he's kind of done gradually more singing, I think, throughout the years. Like I know he's like sang out a song or two live when I saw him at Prague Power. So, maybe that's
Good for him.
Thing.
That was good stuff. I enjoyed that. I'm in fact gonna probably listen to that a few more times. I think that was kind of the standout song on the album for me, other than the Big Signal and whatever else, but that one stood out a lot.
Yeah, that was very cool and different. So I made the observation on this album that another very key power prog power, progressive power metal, powered prog metal is
Easy
that
there, you're skipping.
the average song length is perfectly, like on this album, 5 to 6 minutes, right? That's like the average, because you'll have they don't on this album they don't have anything super long.
No 10-minute long Carly.
No 10-minute long on this one, but they have on other albums.
Shame.
And then, but then you balance it out because there'll be like a 3-minute song or a 2-minute song somewhere, and the intro tracks and shit. So like I think the average, the mean, still ends up being like 5-6 minutes. And this album is all 5-6 minute songs, just about. Although they do have a part 1, part 2 with where it's a 1 minute intro, 5.5. So like that's almost 7 if you count those together. And it's 58 minutes long. It's like a perfect hour, perfect prog album length for those who aren't sick of albums being really long yet.
It's well calibrated to the reviewers' habits, the discography people and whatnot on the socials will be like, oh, this album, it's a good length. It doesn't have bloat. It's all the songs are listenable because they listen to too many albums, and I guess I can understand why they don't want them to be long.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like a bad reason, but I guess I get it.
Exactly.
They hate metal because the songs are long, because it takes them too long to review them. Dorkscography, that's what the social I was trying to think of was called.
Okay.
I follow that a bit, and I constantly have to hear, oh my god, the songs are so long. Oh, why does this album go on forever? I'm like, that's a 40-minute album. These can't all be 20, 15-minute punk albums. I realize you have to listen to a lot of things to review them, but sometimes people have to have time to play.
Yeah.
Explore concepts, do what they're gonna do.
Adult contemporary thing also reminded me of another label that at certain times has meant adult contemporary, but it also kind of has a couple other meanings, which is AOR,
Yes, I support AOR. I'm a
which
fan.
is supposed to be album oriented rock.
False. Arena oriented rock.
That's definitely no.
That's what Frontier, which is the foremost label in AOR right now, will tell you.
Okay, but it's like
Just
a
saying.
40-year-old genre. And okay, I used to think it meant like adult oriented rock, like adult contemporary, and also because it was the name for it was like the label for butt rock when after butt rock was out of style, because it was mostly like a European thing, right? It was like
A lot of it was really bad,
your
stupid butt rock.
European hair glam butt rock.
But there's also a lot of it that's
band.
kind of more smooth rock,
Well, that's
which
the
I
thing,
think is
though.
what you're getting at.
But it's also basically like power metal light. Like if you take out the super, it's like slow power metal, right?
A little
It's
bit.
like or soft power metal. Like that's how I
Soft
thought.
power metal, yeah.
That's how it always got brought together with like prog power and stuff. There are a lot of
With
AOR
bands with
fans.
the most forgettable names like FM and Heat.
Yeah, but like it was so album, it was supposed to be like, oh, it's like we are still this kind of rock band, but we are album oriented because there are no hit singles. And so
See, that's another. I got a
we're not even
question
trying.
where you got that definition, because that doesn't make that much sense to me. A lot of the bands are very. These are radio singles. These are songs that are going to play on the radio, and that's kind of what arena bands are trying to do, because they want to play the hits, because that's what gets people in arenas.
Yeah,
playing the hits. So
album oriented rock, AOR, originally called album oriented radio, is an FM radio format created in the United States in the late 1960s that focuses on the full repertoire of rock albums and is currently associated with classic rock. US radio stations dedicated to playing album tracks by rock artists from the hard rock and progressive rock genres initially established album oriented radio, again, because there were no hit singles, very few hit singles. In the mid 70s, AOR was characterized by a layered mellifluous sound, and so again, that overlaps with
sure. You pulling this off Wikipedia?
Arena rock. Yes, this is Wikipedia.
Well, so, I'll buy that.
I would argue it. By the time I heard it, I was like, "What is album oriented?" And I had assumed, oh, the term is also commonly conflated with adult oriented rock. That they don't explain it, but again, it's adult oriented because it's about butts, and so like anytime it's like butt rock. But not in the US, right? It was a big European, but like the label started in the US, but I believe there's like so many of these bands that were just like, okay, they're not technically a power metal band. They sound like a power metal band if you took out all the Halloween parts, right? The real fast parts. And it's like,
to some extent, I can think of a couple bands that do have some pretty fast parts. Like I said, I
that too.
Listen to a good amount of AOR.
It overlaps. It strongly overlaps with power metal. Is the point, and that's why we're kind of mentioning it, because but the adult contemporary,
kind of like yacht power metal.
Rarely do they achieve proto yacht status. They could, but they usually don't.
Right, it's right there, but they're usually missing something.
But that's the adult contemporary. Definitely overlapped some yacht rock, but not all. So it's that same kind of thing. The AOR is like close, but not quite there.
Either way, I appreciate the little bit of something I would have heard on 1011 WIXX, Green Bay's greatest hits, or whatever the fuck their tagline was way back in the day. 100,000 watts of power.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Wisconsin radio. That's what I'm talking about. Get over it. It's fine. Everyone knows it.
Everyone
knows
Wisconsin radio.
Yes. Well, everyone in Wisconsin.
Everyone within radio range, FM range.
Right.
So I only had one other note, which is that in Gods of the World is when they go overboard with the DT stuff, and they're like, "We are a prog band. Fuck you." Like prog. We are prog now. Get used to it. You should be used to it. We've been doing it a long time. But that one track, I was just like, okay, I get it. I know why, and they should tour the Dream Theater. Like
they should.
I would much rather pay too much to see Mike Portnoy in Dream Theater again if Angra was also there.
You
Because
know
then
what?
I
One of the
like would
biggest
have a
problems I think
shirt.
with that might be though,
Was that?
and this was kind of one of my mental notes. There were many times, many times this album where I was like, "Oh, Fabio is doing Labrie right now better than Labrie has done it in a long time."
Oh well, I mean, yeah, he's gonna do
Tell me I'm wrong.
anything better and more consistently than
Tell me he
Labrie.
wasn't doing Labrie better than
Plus,
Labrie for much of this album.
with the hair, like some fans who don't know the band that they might get confused. They'd be like, "Did a younger James Labrie just show up? Why does he sound Italian? like,
Is this AI? What's going on?
is this a hologram? Why would they have the hologram open for the real one?" Yeah, no, that's a very good point. It'd be risky for them for Dream Theater.
Risky, a little samey.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'd
it'd be
go,
cool.
but
I would definitely go to that.
see the issue.
They should make that happen.
I agree.
I mean,
Either that or they should play on Mad with Power, or because apparently Mad with Power is going to announce their second headliner like tomorrow. I think I wanted to start some irresponsible rumors about it, but I'm not going to have any time to do that now. So I'm just going to throw it out there. I want it to be 3 Inches of Blood. Ty was just in Toronto. They're Toronto. Blah blah blah. Why not?
Nice. Yeah.
Irresponsible.
Cool.
That's the best kind of rumor.
Yeah. Sounds believable.
Right.
I'll repeat it until I've told it
until tomorrow.
Not true.
Right. Hey, they've got, I think 3 Inches of Blood has 3 shows planned now. They were talking about, if those are a thing, they all work out. 3 Inches of Blood, I think, would be a good fit for that fest. I don't know. People might disagree with me, but I think it'd be fun.
No, I think
the band could use, or the the show could use more fun bands as opposed to bands that are no, we're totally fun. We're part of the new wave of nice metal buds, but I think a lot of the bands aren't that fun. They're dorks.
Yeah. Well,
maybe
yeah,
they're
I definitely
fun within themselves, among themselves.
Would like a little more exciting other headliner.
Right.
I'm gonna go.
Maybe it's gonna be Rush on their comeback tour.
Yeah. So that will be our next episode.
Stay tuned. It's there.
Stay tuned.
It's coming
in like a week, probably. That's
you don't want to miss that one. That's gonna be fun. Oh yep. God.
We'll discuss. Geddy Lee said some stuff that he's probably gonna regret. We'll talk about that. Do you have anything else on the new Angra?
It's really good. I need to listen to it again. I guess I would put it, like I said, probably top 5 overall of their albums on kind of re-listening. Outstanding production throughout. Fabio sounds great. I was going to ask, I was going to look, was this recorded at all with Kiko, or was he completely gone when this was recorded? I think
he's been gone. Let me see when because I remember he did like a guest solo on the last album, and like he really left the band. Like he in apparently 2015, is it? Yeah, when he joined Megadeth, he was like done. So they got another guy. They got another guy, and so that's why when we were talking about he should go back to, you're like, they got another guy. I'm like, well, so did Iron Maiden, and so 3 guitars. That's the one of the rare exceptions they can get away with it.
10-4. Well, that was going to be my point, is that I don't hear any drop off without Kiko around. Not saying anything bad about Kiko. He can obviously play, but they don't sound like they're missing anything. They don't sound like they've lost a step. They sound better than they have in a long time or ever. So
yeah, I definitely think
really good.
Yeah, Raphael Bittencourt is definitely like the creative drive of the band, and so
is he the only whole time member? I know they've had a good amount of turnover, and obviously Andre Edu, what's his face, Fabio.
He might be.
Nico, and like they said, Andre left and he took the rhythm section. So I guess I would assume that if the rhythm section left then and Kiko left more recently, that's everybody except for
he's the only original guy. His band now, and I think probably was kind of originally too. Yeah, it's they switched bass players, they switched drummers. Old classic drummer came back for a while, then left around when Kiko did, and now
So you're saying they're a prog power band. That's the thing. That's what we do.
It's just it's Raphael Bittencourt. But yeah, like you said, you can tell it kind of maintains the same style and quality of writing.
Shitloads of credit to Raphael. Still
absolutely.
around, sounding as good as they've ever sounded. So
absolutely, and again, Fabio is fantastic.
He's a Highlander or an immortal, I guess, but it's funnier to call them Highlanders.
Yep, an Italian Highlander. I would definitely go see them. Like and subscribe, and if you're listening on like Apple Podcasts, leave us a review or a rating if those are still things that
absolutely. Oh, and just wait, we're going to have more content for you to argue about in the comments, and that's what we love. Keep it coming. Yeah.